Cauliflower can be a bit persnickety and challenging to grow. Today's video will teach you 3 tips to grow the best cauliflower. Hi, I'm Amy, and welcome to my channel where we talk about organic gardening and wildlife conservation. The key to cauliflower is finding that perfect temperature window. Dense, flavorful curds grow in cool temperatures between 50 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 to 21 Celsius. Cauliflower is sensitive to temperature extremes. If planted too early in the spring, cauliflower can experience frost damage. If planted too late, hot weather can prevent proper head development. Heat can also encourage premature bolting. Plant cauliflower seedlings about 2 weeks before your area's last expected frost in spring, or start seeds indoors 6 weeks before that. For fall harvest, plant seedlings about 10 weeks before the first expected fall frost. For spring, choose a variety with heat tolerance and a short growth cycle, 50 to 60 days to harvest. Early snow variety matures at just 45 days. Several of the colored cauliflowers are more heat tolerant. I talk more about colored varieties in my growing cauliflower video that I'll link in the description. Cauliflower is frost sensitive, especially when young, so the most proactive thing you can do is to use row covers when you plant out. That allows the seedlings to grow and stay warm. It also forms a barrier to keep pests out. However, if you get a warm, sunny day, make sure you pull up the cloth and ventilate, or it will get too hot under it. I like to grow cauliflower in the fall. I seed in late July and plant out in late August. I may cover it with some shade cloth to protect them from the sun if it's still pretty hot. That also helps protect the young plants from bugs. In Zone 5, spring plantings are more feasible. Start inside in early April to plant outside in early mid-May. They especially need cool weather when they produce heads. Cauliflower is loved by bugs. To get this beautiful plant, you need to be checking your plants daily. My biggest pets have been flea beetles and cabbage lopers. I have often used radishes as a trap plant. Flea beetles love them. Another great companion plant is mint. The strong smell confuses the flea beetle, and they have a hard time locating the plants they wish to eat. For bad infestations, I use organic Monterey insect spray. Cauliflower plants are frequently targeted by cabbage worms and also aphids. They can severely damage the foliage and developing heads, sometimes entirely destroying the crop. Beneficial insects, like I said, lady beetles, but also parasitic wasps and lacewings, can control populations. With cabbage lopers, they're also pretty easy just to pick by hand. If you don't think that's fun, many times children do. So you can hand pick them, and also you can encourage songbirds, especially in the spring. The songbirds are flying around looking for caterpillars to feed their babies. Encouraging beneficials by growing companion plants. So we mentioned mint and radishes as a trap crop, but also dill, marigolds, and nasturtiums. A good cauliflower crop needs ideal garden soil. It is a very heavy feeder, and it requires nutrient-rich, well-draining soil. Poor soil preparation or the lack of adequate fertility will lead to weak plants and stunted growth. It also likes well-drained soil, but it wants to be kept moist. So that means adding a generous amount of compost or well-rotted manure to add those nutrients and help retain moisture. You should also test your soil's pH. Cauliflower prefers a neutral to slightly alkaline pH of 6.5 to 7. If needed, you can amend the soil with lime or wood ash several weeks prior to planting. side dress your plants, I like to use compost tea, and my personal favorite fertilizer is fish emulsion to support their growth. Inconsistent watering can severely affect cauliflower growth. Dry conditions will stress them, causing them to produce small and bitter heads, but excessive watering can lead to fungal diseases. So you want to try to monitor and, help so they don't have water stress. Granted, that can be hard if you have a big storm, you can't control that amount. And granted, these two pictures are peppers. I didn't have one of cauliflower with drip irrigation, but drip irrigation is great for cauliflower. So you want to keep them evenly moist by providing 1 to 2 inches of water per week, depending on what Mother Nature is giving you. Mulch around the base of your plants with straw and shredded leaves to help retain soil moisture and stabilize the temperature and to reduce the weed competition. So, this is a fun fact. An inch of water will wet a sandy soil to a depth of 10 inches, a heavy clay soil to a depth of 6 inches. You can check out my books on Amazon and check out my growing cauliflower video next. Happy gardening! Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a fabulous spring.